when you've grown up in a narcissistic environment where your parents were narcs, you never received unconditional love. So as a child, you learn to stay quiet, being silenced, you know, will keep you out of trouble. So you kind of created this mask as you got older because you felt like being you will get you abandoned or not accepted. So as you got older, you started longing for love, unconditional love. And you start attracting narcissists, you're very empathetic, you're an empath. You start attracting demons that will mirror your wounds and play on it and call you out your name. So you learn that you had to create this mask in order for people to accept you for who you were. And your whole life, you have never had unconditional love. Everybody that ever came in your life, you felt like you had to act and put on this mask in order for them to accept you. So once you finally escape the narcissist because they have damaged you even more, they've done something to your nervous system, done something to your psychic even more. And you finally get to a place where you ready to receive love, but you don't know how. You want love, but you don't know how to receive it. So anybody that comes into your life, you feel like they on some manipulation stuff. When someone is really trying to give you unconditional love and a healthy relationship, a healthy person come into your life, you feel you don't know how to receive it. You don't know how to accept it. You like this, like try to, but you just don't know how. So you kind of go ghost. You kind of, run from that person, especially if they're able to see through this mask that you're holding up. If they call you out on this mask that you have, you run because you just cannot fathom a person really seeing who you are, and that person has shattered your illusion, this person that you have created in your mind. Just because you came into somebody's life pretending and you had on this mask, it doesn't make you a bad person. You grew up in a traumatic environment dealing with narcissistic parents that has trained your nervous system to be who you are today. And when you've never received that unconditional love from the one person that has birthed you, and everything has been a give and pull relationship, or never really hugged you, never really loved you, they made you do things for their love, you're never going to be able to receive that unconditional love until you really sit back and work on yourself, until you really sit back and face the person in the mirror. You have to really ask questions to yourself. Why am I like this? Why am I scared? Why do I always think everybody comes to manipulate? Why am I always on go? My nervous system is always, at an all-time high. I'm always feeling like there's danger coming when you are in a normal environment. But anytime the smallest thing come up, you on go. Your nervous system is on go because you feel like you always in that fight or flight mind state, you know. And once you really, go into that dark night of the soul, because that is your awakening. When someone comes into your life and shatters that illusion of you feeling like you have to put up a mask in order for people to accept you, that is your awakening. That is for you to really look in the mirror and accept that this whole time you've been holding up a mirror, you unconsciously fell so deep that you thought this mask was who you were. But until somebody came in, until the chosen one, or until this genuine soul came in and seen who you were and pointed it out, and even before then, you knew it was something about him or her, where you was walking on eggshells around them because their presence was exposing who you were. So you felt like you couldn't be around them for that long. That is your awakening. Once they came and showed you who you were, now it's time for you to really fight that battle within yourself, that internal battle, because it's something that you have to do. Because if you don't, you're going to keep attracting demons. You're going to keep attracting people that are not good for you, because that's all you know is people that's not good for you. So in order for you to really receive unconditional love and accept it, you have to ask yourself these questions. You have to sit in isolation by yourself and really take on that battle. You can do it. You can do it.